Thank you. So we're ready to start the Committee of the Whole meeting on Wednesday, October 29th. It is 3:57 p.m. And I have a motion that the agenda for the Committee of the Whole meeting be accepted as distributed. Can I have a mover and seconder? So Deputy Mayor Miskimins. And Councillor Walma. All those in favor?
Mr. Chair.
Councillor Walma, yes.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Through you, with council's indulgence, under new business, I'd like a quick discussion on affordable housing. Thank you.
Sure.
The specifically pre-approved housing plans. Thank you.
Okay, so that'll be under H. Under section H, you can remind me at the time. Thank you. Okay, so that the agenda for the Committee of the Whole meeting be accepted as distributed. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried unanimously. So we move into section D, which is staff reports. Under section D.1, consent items. Yes. If anybody comes across any pecuniary interest throughout this meeting, please advise and we will deal with it accordingly. Thank you. We have no reports of consultants or third parties, so we will move into staff reports. So under D1, we have the Fire and Emergency Services Report ESR-004-25 Fire and Emergency Services Third Quarter Activity Report. Chief Flewelling. Anything to add?
Through you, the Chair, as these are consent items, I have nothing to add.
Thank you. D12 is the Planning and Development Report PD-022-25, the 2025 Third Quarter Comparative Building Permit Activity, and D13, which is the Planning and Development Report PD-023-25, Year-to-Date Comparative Building Permit Activity Report. I need a mover and a seconder. Mayor Evans. Seconded by Councillor Walma. Any discussion on these items? Councillor Walma.
Just quickly highlight that our building value totals for 2025 are $3 million higher than last year. That's not something, since it's a building comparison activity report, we don't always see those numbers, and I think it's a good indicator of how things are progressing in the township. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Walma, for that information. So that the following consent items under section D staff reports be received as information. All those in favor? That is carried 5-0 unanimously. And under D.1.4, we have County Council update / highlights. If Deputy Mayor Miskimins would like to elaborate on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, through you. Just a reminder to residents, there are changes coming to the recycling program effective January 1st, 2025. The County of Simcoe, who currently does both solid waste and recycling, all the blue box materials will be transferring over to Circular Materials Ontario. And I believe they have contracted Mterra to do the pickups. As far as we know, the pickup days will be the same. However, on Blue Box Day, when you put out your green bin and your blue box, or blue bin, it will be two separate trucks that provide the pickup. So County of Simcoe's contractor will pick up your green bin. A separate Ontario government, basically, truck will pick up your blue bin. So for any questions regarding black garbage bins or green bins can still be directed to the County of Simcoe. For blue bins, you will need to contact Mterra, and I believe there is more communication coming out from the County of Simcoe regarding these changes. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Deputy Mayor. Anything else to add, Your Worship, from county?
Thank you, Councillor Loca. No, I think Deputy Mayor covered it all. I think the thing too is that people, hopefully 99% of people will see no change. So you'll still put your garbage out and your recycling out in the same day, in the same location. And so it's just a different company, and there will be some, I'm sure there's always changes, but to some very, very small percentage of the population. But, just, I don't want people to start thinking that they're going to have to change their daily routine. They will not. So, but thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
And just out of curiosity, is there any news on the annexation of Springwater or Oro Medonte to report on at this time?
In terms of the decision that will be made ultimately by the Ministry of Housing and Municipal Affairs, no, that decision has not been made. The process is still in consideration by the townships of Oro Medonte, Township of Springwater, and the County of Simcoe. So we were, all those three different councils are in process of evaluating their final response to the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll move on to D.2, matters for consideration. And under D.2.1, the Mayor's Charity Golf Tournament Working Committee, terms of reference amendments and name change. So I have a motion before me that I need a mover and a seconder. Mayor Evans. Seconded by Councillor Brunel. That recreation report REC-014-25 regarding amendments to the Mayor's Charity Golf Tournament Working Committee terms of reference be received, and that proposed bylaw 25-062 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 22-087 to revise the Mayor's Charity Golf Tournament Working Committee terms of reference to reflect the expanded scope, strategic direction, and enhanced community engagement mandate be considered at the November 19th, 2025 regular meeting of council. All those in favor? Thank you. Carried 5-0. Moving on to D.2.2. Planning and Development Report. I need a mover and a seconder for this motion. Deputy Mayor Miskimins. Seconded by Mayor Evans. That Planning and Development Report PD-021-25 regarding a zoning bylaw amendment application from Robitaille Farms Limited, owner of 113 Concession 17 West, be received, and that council approve zoning bylaw amendment application file 25/D14-DS number 87741, and that proposed bylaw 25-058 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 22-075 be considered at the November 19th, 2025 regular meeting of council. All those in favor? That's carried 5-0. Moving on to D.2.3, which is Planning and Development Report PD-024-25. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Brunel. Seconded by Mayor Evans. That Planning and Development Report PD-024-25 regarding the township's development charges background study and bylaw be received, and that council approve the 2025 development charges background study prepared by Hempson Consulting Limited dated August 8th, 2025, as set out in Appendix 1, and that council approve development charges bylaw 25-054 as set out in Appendix 2 and pass the bylaw at the November 19th, 2025 council meeting, and that staff be directed to circulate notice of passing of bylaw 25-054 in accordance with the Development Charges Act. Any discussion on this? No? Okay, all those in favor? Carried unanimously, 5-0. Under committees, there are no consent items under E.1, so we'll move on to E.2, matters for consideration. That October 2nd, 2025 Accessibility Advisory Committee has made a recommendation. I need a mover. Deputy Mayor Miskimins. And a seconder, Councillor Wama. That the Accessibility Advisory Committee recommendation dated October 2nd, 2025 regarding seating on the boardwalk at Blue Water Beach be received, and that council herein endorses the recommendation and directs staff to proceed accordingly. All those in favor? Carried unanimously, 5-0. Just wondering, Director Leach, if maybe you could advise the public on some insight regarding those benches and people who may want to dedicate some benches, especially with the new Township of Tiny Administration Center?
Thank you, through the chair. Yeah, before you is the motion from the Accessibility Committee. I'll just give a very brief background. This summer, the combination of our Parks and Roads crews did a major replacement of a good chunk of the boardwalk down at Blue Water. It's actually a Blue Water in both Blue Water and Woodland. It was really starting to deteriorate, and especially with the sand and the proximity to Georgian Bay. So our crews internally did a phenomenal job on replacing the extent that was damaged and had worn out over the past few years. Very economically done and did a fantastic job. On the one side, we call it the north end of the access to it, a previous motion that was approved by council, one was to put the a viewing platform there, and the second was to install a boardwalk system down at Concession 11. The Concession 11 is complete. I encourage everybody to go take a look at it. It was another phenomenal job. So down at Blue Water, that was a shameless plug, by the way. Down at Blue Water, we did put in a viewing area from the Accessibility Committee. And with that, one thing that came out of the last meeting was, can we put an additional bench in there? So what came out of the committee was to utilize our bench memorial program, which is operated out of the Recreation Department, and have that have the bench for that particular program come from our accessibility operating budget, to have that put in, which would then have a plaque installed on the backrest for it, which would acknowledge the efforts of the Accessibility Committee for getting this additional platform viewing area out there, plus having the bench put in itself. This is a program that works very well between Recreation and Public Works, where residents can have a memorial bench and tree program. And if they work through the Recreation Department, they work with our department for location and getting it implemented and put in place. Through this, we feel this is a great opportunity, and it's a great expansion of our accessibility features that we're providing at our beaches. And having the bench in there just makes it a little easier for people that want to sit with others that may be using mobility aids in that area for extended periods of time, and a great view of Georgian Bay. So I hope that provides you the details that were desired.
Yes, thank you, Director. I just have one question. Is there a standard plaque, or can people basically create their own plaque?
Right now, we have a standard plaque, but I'll let Director Palace indicate if there's anything above and beyond that they have plans. But typically, we use a standard plaque that they all look the same, that you have a machined area out and you provide in there. The beauty of having standardized like that is it's a one-time cost for the user. After that, it becomes our responsibility. And if we start to get into very unique types of things, if these things are damaged, removed, or have to be replaced, it comes at an excessive cost to the township.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, moving on, there are no discussion of motions of which notice has been previously given under Section F, so we'll move on to Section G, Communications. Is there anybody that wants to pull any of these items? We have 6. Anybody, any interest? No? Okay, I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Brunel? Seconded by Councillor Walma. I'll quickly read these off. Under consent items, G1, under section G1.1.1, AMO, Healthy Democratic Leader Series, G.1.2, Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, G.1.3, 2026 Rural Ontario Municipal Association, ROMA, Delegation Request, G.1.4, County of Simcoe, Battery Collection Week begins November 3rd, 2025. G.1.5, Halton Region, Public Safety Requirements to Protect Our Communities. And finally, G.1.6, Township of Springwater, Expand and Strengthen Greenbelt Protections. That, Deputy Mayor.
Thanks through you. Can I just speak to G1.4, the battery collection?
Absolutely.
Perfect, just for residents. County of Simcoe, obviously with the Canada Post strike, was not necessarily able to get the bags in the mail in time. So if anybody is looking for bags to dispose of their batteries, I know each of the township offices throughout the County of Simcoe have them. They are available here because they basically start Monday. So if you need bags, please come to the township office. I believe they're right at the front door, basically. You only have to walk a step in and the batteries are there for you. And then you could use it. Or you can use any clear bag. If you want a clear Ziploc bag, again, just put them on top of your, I believe it's your grain bin on day of collection, and they will be disposed of properly, and hopefully it keeps it out of our landfills and further contamination of soil. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And if you're so inclined and you live close to the dump, they also provide clear battery bags at the paint disposal station. So, that consent items under Section G, Communications, be received as information. All those in favor? Carried unanimously, 5-0. All right. So under G.2, G.2.1, we have matters for consideration. Jason Guerin. Balance reforms to the Residential Tenancies Act and landlord-tenant process. I don't have a motion for that.
Both
CAO?
this and the next item are for council's discussion, direction, motions, to see where council what council would like to do with them.
Okay. Kicking it off, Councillor Walma.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd recommend sending it to the county's Human Services General Manager, Mina Baez Baguette. This is something that we've run into multiple times, and there is some rationale as to why those protections exist within the Act. And there's nothing that we can do at this table, so it'll just be forwarding information.
Thank you, Councillor Walma. Your worship?
Thank you, Councillor Loca. And Chair, I've heard this on many levels, and given that affordable housing or even rentals is, especially in tiny, is hard to find, it certainly discourages people from moving into long-term rentals, the process that people have to go through. And I'm fully supportive of anything we can do to help increase the amount of long-term rental space in Tiny Township and in North Simcoe. So I would also include that this falls under the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, that we could include a notification of that as well, and advocacy for changes to the act. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Worship. Follow-up, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you through you, Chair. I know the province right now has some proposed changes to an omnibus bill that's coming up. And I know the Minister for Municipal Affairs and Housing backtracked in an original statement. I think we're all still anxiously awaiting to see what comes of whatever revisions they do. I think there is time for change, and finding a balanced approach that protects both tenants and landlords is overdue. I know they've made some additions to more adjudicators at the landlord tenant board, so hopefully we see a continued progress to clearing up the backlog and making it easier and more appealing for people to rent. And get into the long-term rental market. So, and hopefully that opens up housing for more individuals that are struggling to find affordable housing. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moving on, is that any other further discussion? No? Okay. Thank you. I need a mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Miskimins. Seconded by Councillor Brunel. The motion is that correspondence from Jason Guerin regarding balanced reforms to the Residential Tenancies Act and Landlord Tenant Board process be received for information, and that council directs staff to forward the correspondence to the County of Simcoe Service Manager and the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing for consideration. All those in favor? That's carried unanimously, 5-0. Moving on to section G.2.2, Richard Greaves, rest for removal of dangerous dead tree. Any discussion on this one? Director Leach?
Thank you, through the chair. I'll give a bit of a background. As it states within this, within the letter that he attached, the resident did contact myself. I went through the item with them over the phone, and just explained to him at the time when the township individual that was there, it has the name in the letter, advised him that what trees can be removed and what trees can't be removed, and that's based on our interim control bylaw. And he was just following the direction that was provided to make sure that we follow the interim control bylaw. Underneath that standard, the trees cannot be removed within that. If they are, they have to leave the stump involved in the ground until we get our new bylaw in place. Those are the rules that we've been following. The resident was advised of that at that time. And on a subsequent meeting, when a bylaw was in the area, they did note that the tree was dead, and they did the responsible thing to advise the landowner in case there was a safety issue involved with that, and that the tree needed to be removed. When they contacted myself, I indicated to them that resident would need to pull the tree out or cut the tree down, leave the roots in based on our interim control bylaw, and that would be done at their expense and not the township's expense. The resident felt that it was, it is our responsibility, that we should be, because we're the ones that said not to take it down in the first place, and then they were approached by bylaw because it's dead. They are to remove it, and then following the interim control bylaw, cut the tree, leave the stump and the roots in the sand to maintain the integrity of that sand in the area. After I explained what the process is and that the township will not be removing the tree, he did not agree with me. And I indicated to him that that's his right as a resident to take this to council and see if council has a different opinion or a different stance on the expense to remove this tree. So that's the background that I have for council at this time for your decision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Director. Just a question, is there any height limit to the stump that has to be, that should be maintained?
Not necessarily. We're just looking that it does protrude up above the level of the sand. And the key is that we want to maintain the root system within the sand to make sure that that doesn't get blown away or it doesn't cause other types of issues underneath the current interim control bylaw regulations.
Okay, and this tree that was cut down, is it close to the shoreline?
It is along the shoreline. Definitely, it's within the parameters of the interim control bylaw. And that's what I explained. He can cut it down, he just has to leave the stump there. But the issue is that he feels that the township should pay for it. Because it was indicated before that he couldn't cut the thing down. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Leach. Councillor Walma.
I'm not supportive. I think that we receive it as information and inform the individual accordingly. My recommendation would be that in 2023, there was a whole bunch of people there that would have identified it as a hazard tree at that time. Tree could have died or progressed, and that's what happens. Trees age. That's where I'm at. Thank you.
Any other comments? Your worship.
Sure, yeah, I'll go in on this one. Yeah, an accusation of bad faith when you look at this, that we acted improperly in 2023. That'd be a long time ago. I don't agree with this on a number of levels. First of all, you've actually you're allowing them to cut a tree down when it's next to two other trees, which I think is pretty indulgent given that with the appeals right now, under our new dynamic beach bylaw, we've made special allowances. This person actually contacted a bylaw officer that was going by and dragged her into it. And we've acted, I feel, in very good faith and tried to find a way to deal with this tree. This is on private property. The precedent we set, if we start paying for trees to be removed on private property. This is something we went through with the ice storm. We all know how many trees we have in Tiny Township, and we love our trees, but when we take them down, it's going to be incredibly costly. So I don't agree with the accusation of bad faith. I think we've acted actually with no negligence or error. Things have changed since 2023. Unless you're under the sand, of course, this person's right on the water, and things have changed since 2023 for the better. And we're still trying to find a way to deal with this accusation, or this request. And, honestly, I just see it's, the accusation is that it wouldn't have cost anything in 2023, and it will now. Well, no, it would have cost something in 2023 too. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, and not sorry, but, that's your responsibility. And we all have trees on our property and we have to take care of them. That's part of home ownership. So but the biggest thing for me is not to fund the removal of any dead tree or trees, especially not on private property. So that's fine for me.
Thank you, Your Worship. Any further? Okay, so I will soon have a motion before me. I need a mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Miskowitz. Seconded by Mayor Evans. And the motion reads that correspondence from Richard Greaves regarding a request for the removal of a dangerous dead tree be received for information, and that Public Works staff advise the resident accordingly. And you claim, Director, that that's been done?
No, the, Chair, I've advised him that because he did not agree with what my position was, so I advised him that he can go to council to see if there's a different direction. So based on the direction of council, once we have the approved motion, then we will reply back to the resident accordingly.
Thank you very much. All those in favor? That is carried unanimously, 5-0. Under Section H, new business. Any new business, gentlemen? Councillor Walma.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I had forgotten oversight that we do have a report coming back from planning on affordable housing initiatives. I will take my comments offline with the director. Thank you.
Okay. Any other new business? All right, moving on to Section I, public comment period. This is for matters on the current committee of the whole agenda only. It's 3 minutes per speaker, and it's restricted to one agenda item. Anybody wish to say anything? Okay. We'll move on. We now are going to go to Section J, which is a confidential closed session.
You have to do the motion first, don't you?
Okay, I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Brunel. Seconded by Councillor Walma. That council and committee of the whole meets in closed session to deal with the following subject matter: a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality / sale of surplus land. All those in favor? That's carried unanimously, 5-0. So the time is now 4:27, and we will officially be in closed session for approximately 15 minutes. And then we will have an adjournment. We rise and report, and then we'll have an adjournment.